Hi everyone, welcome. I am here today with my friend Nate, and we are going to talk about what is a CFP, Certified Financial Planner, and when do you need one, and why would business owners want to work with, CFP and a CFO, since I am here today as well. And I'm just going to go through a few of those questions and we're going to have Nate answer. So Nate, welcome. Thank you for being here today.
Oh, thanks, Carl. I appreciate the opportunity to talk with you and your audience.
Wonderful. Well, since not everybody knows about us, we should do a quick intro. So, I am Carla Titus, founder and owner of Wealth and Worth Within. We've been doing financial consulting as a fractional CFO for 5 years now, working with over 100 businesses, helping them make more money, keep more money in the bank, and be profitable. So, our goal is to empower through education and make sure that you have access to the right expertise in your business. So if you feel like you've outgrown your bookkeeper and your CPA is not able to support you any further, then it's about time to reach out to a CFO to get you additional help and answer your money questions in the business. But on the other side, on the personal finance side, Nate, why don't you tell us what you do with business owners when they need help and just people in general?
Yeah. So my name is Nate Baim. I'm the founder and financial planner at Pursuit Planning and Investments LLC, a registered investment advisor from the state of Oregon, where I help early and mid-career professionals live their life pursuits, and that's helping them figure out how to make the most with their hard-earned money from a personal financial planning point of view. What I've been finding as I've been growing my business and helping those, especially those mid-career professionals, is they've got enough experience and they're starting to see, well, maybe I should start to take this entrepreneurial path and start their own business, or they've already started their side business, and they're trying to figure out how does that business fit inside of their personal life, and how do they need to be thinking of their business as an asset within their personal balance sheet. And that's where a financial planner comes in, and that's where I've been finding myself helping more and more people here recently. So
It's all about making more income because the more we have, the more we can, decide where to allocate to generate that generational wealth. And we will talk about that a little bit later. But first, let's just take a step back for a minute. I think a lot of people just don't even know what a CFP is or what a CFP types might be that they're looking for. So why don't you just give us a little bit of flavor and context and background on what is a CFP?
yeah, yeah. So a certified financial planner is a professional that has dedicated themselves to the practice and study of personal financial planning. In order to become a certified financial planner, the individual has to hold a bachelor's degree. They also have to take a series of at least about bachelor level classes, if not graduate level classes, devoted to financial planning and subject areas such as just fundamentals of time value money and understanding what a dollar is worth today versus what a dollar is worth in 10 years, education planning, risk management, which can come in the form of understanding how to properly use insurance, investment planning, and estate planning. So as a financial planner, we look holistically at an individual's financial life, and then we try to create a plan that is comprehensive and is aligned across those different functional areas. In addition to the education component, they also, a CFP, to become one, they have to pass an exam. It's a board exam, 170 questions and 6 hours long. Probably the longest and one of the most difficult tests that I've taken, and happy to be done with it. And don't ever want to take it again.
Mm-hmm.
We also have to prescribe to the ethics of the CFP board, which requires us to act as fiduciaries and also live to the code of conduct of a CFP professional. And then we also are expected to have a certain amount of experience before we can carry the title of certified financial planner.
I love what you just shared because it actually draws a parallel really close to what I do from a business finance perspective for my business owners that we support as their fractional CFO. So we'll get into that in a little bit. But I wanted to just touch on something that you said that was really important, and that is the fiduciary
Yeah.
designation of a certified financial planner. And I
Mm-hmm.
think a lot of people are just not familiar with the term. So can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so a fiduciary is somebody that's required to act in the best interest of their clients. Unfortunately, my industry has done a really good job of making things very confusing and difficult for individuals to cut through the jargon. Um, And when anybody's looking for a financial planner, I'd encourage them first to look for a CFP because that shows the dedication and the education and the experience. But then also look for a fee-only fiduciary financial planner. And fee-only means that not only does the financial planner have to act in the best interest of their client, but the incentive and the compensation structure is better aligned to the interests of the client, which makes it harder for a conflict of interest to come up.
There's a common goal you're working towards with your client, right? Which
Yeah.
makes it a great partnership.
Yeah. Yep. And so with the fee only designation or the fee only moniker, you're only receiving compensation from your client, and you're not receiving it from a third party in the form of a commission. And there is a place for those products and those services, but when you're doing a comprehensive plan, I encourage folks to be looking for fee only, because then you have a quarterback or that person in their corner that is looking comprehensively across the different areas of their financial life, and they aren't being incentivized to sell the highest commission product, or having to manage that conflict of interest if they are a CFP holder.
Yeah. And if you don't know how you're paying your certified planner, financial planner, make sure you ask a question. And then if they just say, oh, don't worry about it, it's covered, then
Yeah.
be worried.
Yeah.
Because that means if you're not writing a check or swiping your credit card to pay your financial planner, that means someone else is paying them for you on your behalf. Therefore, they might not be working to align with your own interests. So just watch out for that, because I think a lot of people just get really confused and they are told stories about, oh, it's fine, like it's free,
Yeah.
there's no charge, and that is not true.
Yeah.
Otherwise, go work with someone who you are actually writing a check out to or making payment directly to, because then you know that they are the fee only fiduciary planner that you want to be working with. So
Yeah. It's unfortunate our industry has made it so hard, and I'm excited that as the profession continues to mature, I feel that it's going to become more and more easier for individuals and prospective clients and the general public to understand what they're getting when they hire a financial planner. So I hope that it
definitely.
continues to progress in that direction. So
Awesome. Well, let's go ahead and talk a little bit more about why someone would need a certified financial planner. And then let's go ahead and focus on business owners, because that's, I think, the role that we want to be
yeah,
playing in their business is how we help them both from the personal and the finance side to better plan and meet their, goals, both personally and in their business.
yeah. Yeah, so a financial planner, an individual needs, or a couple needs a financial planner when their financial life is getting more complicated and they just feel like whatever they're Googling is not giving them the answer that they need for their unique situation. And it is important to place the time and the effort into managing your money, and a qualified second or third opinion can help you rest easier at night, knowing that you're making the decisions and you're making informed decisions. I see a key part of what I do is just presenting the information, explaining the consequences, then leaving it to the client to make the decision, because it's their life and they need to live a life that's aligned with their values. And when it comes to small business owners or those aspiring entrepreneurs, starting a business can be a very risky endeavor from the personal financial point of view, but it can also be very rewarding monetarily or just within their own life that they want to live. And so working with those that are thinking about starting up their business, I spend a significant amount of time trying to understand why they want to start that business, or if they are at a crossroads in their business where they're thinking about putting more their own personal capital into it. Why is it that they want to do that? And what are the risks associated with that? Is that aligned with the life that they want to live? And then begin to fall down, okay, what are the consequences to that? Are you going to be able to retire when you want to? Are you going to have enough money saved for your other important goals, such as saving for children's education? And are you correctly covering your bases from a risk management point of view so that you don't expose your personal finances to the business's finances? And, there's especially a point in time where, and I think this is where there's a great delineation between a personal CFO and a CFP, is that the CFP looks more of like at the business as an asset on the balance sheet or the source of income for the individual. The CFP is less concerned about, or they're less focused on trying to figure out pricing strategies or what CRM system should you have in place or enterprise management system should you have in place in order to track your financials and to be able to understand how to make tactical decisions inside your business. And that's where the CFO comes in.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's a nice line there. That's where the CFP can maybe come in and talk about, hey, Carla, maybe we need to be thinking about expanding revenue. And if we do that, this is why I'm thinking that's a good thing for our
Mm-hmm.
clients. And to do that, then we can start to be thinking about certain kind of retirement plans that are great
Mm-hmm.
for the owner and the owner's goals. So
Yeah, I think you touched on a lot of really important points of the risk of starting a business and having the cash runway to be able to afford to start a business sometimes. And success doesn't happen overnight, and it takes time to get things, generating revenue, being profitable, having cash in the bank to cover the expenses of running and starting a business. And I think a lot of people just forget to plan for that. And so as the CFO, we come in to help, understand what are the scenarios and what are the situations where revenue can be generated faster, where maybe we can keep more profit in the P&L. And make sure that that business does become an asset on your personal portfolio to generate generational wealth and financial wealth for your family. I see so many business owners not paying themselves, not, creating essentially a business that pays everyone else but them. And that wasn't the point of why you started a business. Might as well just get back the job. So make sure that if you don't have those things in order and that you're struggling with it, because nobody teaches you about this. That's why you have experts like Nate and myself that can help you create plans and proactively start addressing some of those issues to ensure that there is profit and pay happening back from the business to you personally. Because unless we prioritize it, it's not going to happen by accident. And it's going to be really hard to change that trajectory if you don't have the discipline. And it's not about how much you pay yourself at first. At first, it's really just making it a priority and having that discipline starting early. And that as the business grows, increasing that pay and prioritizing yourselves, just like we prioritize taxes, like it or not, it's a given in business. So your pay should be no different, and ideally get into a market rate at some point while still keeping an eye on, profits and making sure there's money left for reinvesting back in the business for growing. But I see so many business owners just spending every dollar and then they're like, what happened? Where did the money go? And that's about the time, and also they're Googling all their money questions for their business and nobody's answering them. Their bookkeeper can't do it. Their CPA is too busy. And that's about the time when, they're ready to come to us for some support and being able to just have some advisory and consulting, and then just creating that financial plan that's comprehensive for both their personal life as well as the business health. So if you haven't done that, now you can access experts to help you on both sides and guide your way through what ideally all of this should look like so that there's no guesswork anymore. So I want to touch really quickly on generational wealth. I want to know, like, what are you seeing from maybe more mature business owners or business owners who've been in business a while, and like, how are they leveraging their business to create generational wealth and pass it down to their kids, their grandkids, and so on? Because that's the whole point of why we don't work a job, is because we could create more wealth faster and quicker through entrepreneurship.
Yeah, so there's several mechanisms and tools in there in order first to preserve the value of that asset on the personal balance sheet, the business, and then also to use it as a function to transfer wealth to the next generation. So as far as like protecting the value of that, a good one is having a buy-sale agreement in place so that if something as you as the owner were to pass away, you have it set up so that somebody is already prepared to, and the financing is prepared to purchase that house in the event of your passing. And you can also do it for a situation of disability as well. That's really important because you don't want to have your family to first be going through your estate without any estate plan, and not having a plan in place for probably your largest assets. And having that plan in place, that buy-sell agreement, makes it a lot easier to transition, and you're not going through a fire sale. you have a already pre-negotiated or nearly negotiated deal and the financing in place in that event. Now, let's hope that doesn't happen. We don't want to have anything like that happen. But when it does come time to begin to transfer that money or transfer that value or that business to the next generation, you will want to be looking at either an installment sale or a self-canceling installment note, family limited partnership, or stock recapitalization are all common mechanisms to pass that business on to the next generation, the value of that business to the next generation. And if you have a large business, you need to be careful of estate taxes because it is worth something. Currently, the estate tax exclusion is pretty high. And assuming that the Tax Cut and Jobs Act comes to sunset in 2025, smaller businesses are going to begin to need to reconsider how to efficiently move that asset from generation to generation in the most tax efficient way. So those are the common things. And I'd say the key issues that business owners need to be keeping their ear to the ground when thinking about passing the value of a business on to the next generation.
And if you got lost in that and you need help, you can call Nate. He'll be able to help you. And if you need to start prepping your business for sale one day or exit, because that could be the other way that you pass on, money onto your family by freeing up the business and getting that cash out that you're expecting, then you need to call a CFO like myself to get you prepped a couple years ahead of that sale because we got to hit some metrics and financial health to ensure that you get maximum value for the asset you created. So if you're just like tired of running it or you're like ready to move on to something else, and you're like maybe don't want to pass it down to your children, they're not interested, but you really want to get something for what you've created, then it's time to prep that business for sale. And it's a process that is lengthy and it takes time because we got to make sure things are in order to maximize the value of that business.
Yeah.
So don't wait because
you've put all that time and effort into building that. Just put the little bit more effort to get possibly a more sizable amount more out of that hard work that you've done. Yeah.
And even if you don't exercise that exit, it sets up your business for even more sustainable, better financial health and growth because you have everything needed for that business to either be sold or just continue to run that way. So just keep those options in mind and definitely reach out to us if you need help with any of that. We'll be happy to help. And something as simple as like starting to hiring your children into your business. Obviously, appropriate jobs for appropriate age people. We do not want to have the IRS behind us trying to tell us that wasn't legit. So make sure you follow the rules, but there are allowances. So I want you to explore that as well. And make sure you start to think about how else can you extend that wealth generation beyond just you running the business and you growing it or exiting. So that was awesome information. I think people are going to have to rewatch this to see take some notes and make sure that they're getting the most out of the information we shared today. And if they have any other questions, where can they reach you, Nate?
Yeah, so they can go to planyourpursuit.com. They can reach out and call me via 971-503-89649. And you can also reach me out on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. Nate Baim or Plan Your Pursuit is the handle. Those are the common ways that you can reach out to me and get a hold of me.
Wonderful. And if you're in need of a fractional CFO for your business and you're asking all these questions of your finance professionals, but they're not able to help you or support you that way, it's time to give us a call. You can find us at wealthworthwithin.com, our website, all of our social handles at wealthworthwithin on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, and just recently TikTok. So if you're looking for business advice, we've put out a lot of free content and we just want to make sure that your business is really giving you back all the benefit of owning a business. And if that is not the case, we are definitely here to help. So give us a call and we'll love to work with you and supporting you on generating enough money that you can pass on generational wealth. So thank you so much, Nate, for your time today. We appreciate all the information you shared and it was so nice to talk to you about this today.
Great. Thank you, Carla, and thanks for the opportunity.
Of course.